Hello everyone and welcome. If you are new here, hello. I am Leah Apocrypha and it is a pleasure to meet you. I hope you'll consider joining this little soul family that we have going on here. If you are returning, welcome back, soul family. Always amazing to have you here. I'm always so appreciative whether you are new or returning. Thank you for your time and for joining me today. As always, disclaimers, information, and decks are in the description box down below if you are interested. Please have a look at least at the disclaimers so you can have an idea of how tarot reading works if you've never watched one. Excuse me. Thank you all so very much for being here. I really, truly, deeply appreciate each and every single one of you. So today is gonna have to be a short reading. So let's see what comes out. We have the Eight of Wands. I was thinking about getting 3 cards, but I'm kind of thinking about getting 4 maybe. 4 is popping up in my mind. So let's see. I thought about 4 and look, here's exactly 4. Make sure there's no other. Alright. Under the deck we have the 3 of Cups. Let me try to get this situated here where you can see everything. Kind of nicely. Alright. The 8 of Wands, the 2 of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and the 3 of Cups. So with the 8 of Wands, what that is telling me is that you have this barrier up. Like you're protecting yourself from perhaps a love situation. Perhaps it has to do with someone else in your energy that you have been dealing with. Someone that you have a lot of feelings towards. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a family member. It could be a coworker. It could be anyone. But it could be romantic as well. So I feel like there's this aspect of you that has been feeling guarded around a certain person. It's like there's this part of you that knows just how incredibly passionate you are for this person. But with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse is telling me that you know that for some reason you have to pull back your energy. I feel like you're a very giving kind of person. Like you want to give. But you understand now that it is time for you to also receive. And it's not to say to expect receiving things from people, but it is to say to expect people to reciprocate to some degree. It's like, for example, if you're going out of your way to always want to hang out with someone, even though you're busy and you have shit to do, but they never want to hang out and they never make plans to do it, even if they're free and they have the time. You know, we all need our space. We all need time apart. There's nothing wrong with that, and that is necessary. However, when there's a will, there's a way. And I feel like you've realized that you give so much to people who do not reciprocate. And I feel like that is why you're feeling guarded when it comes to love. And again, this doesn't have to be romantic, although it can be, or it can be both. It can be romantic and not romantic. It's like there may be people who come to you who act like, or who say, or who seem like they want something more with you, but your energy is so pulled back because you see that many people who come and want something of you, who offer you something, are not capable of reciprocating to the degree that you need. And of course, it's not to say that we need to, that we need validation from people or something. That's not what I mean. But it's like, if you're in a relationship, there's nothing wrong with needing time to be together. That is necessary. And I feel like what this is saying is like there are aspects or times where you give more than you may have. Like, let's say you only have $50 left in your bank account, and you know you have a bill to pay that's gonna take half of that. And let's say you're hanging out with someone and they're hungry, and you're like, well, fuck it, I still have money left over. Like, I'll get them whatever they want. You know? It's like you use whatever you have, and sometimes you even use up until the point that you don't really have anymore, because that's how giving your nature is. But the Queen of Pentacles in reverse is telling me that you're realizing that you cannot keep doing this for every person who's gonna come into your life, because they're just gonna take from you. And poor Mrs. Claus, like, she's so generous, and she's baking a pie, and she looks happy. She had fun making it, and she enjoys baking, and she enjoys sharing what she has created with other people. And I feel like that is you. When you have, you feel in your heart to give, but people take advantage of that, and that is something sad. But at the same time, everyone is in their own journey, and these people who take advantage of that, there's many things that perhaps they're not realizing in their own life. Perhaps they don't even realize that they're taking advantage of it just because you're offering so kindly. You know? So be more consciously aware of the time and energy and the money that you give to people, or the gifts that you give to people. Whatever the case is, it's saying that there's a need to evaluate certain relationships to see, are they reciprocating, or are they just here when they need something, and then whenever they're okay and they're well off, they're off in the distance, I don't even know what's going on in their life, and when they ain't got shit and they need help, they come to me. If you're realizing that there's these kind of people in your life, you need to, it's not to say that you have to cut them off completely, but you have to cut them off at least from your energy to some degree. So it is understandable why you have these kind of walls up, so to speak. I don't think you should feel like you have to have your walls up. I think you should consider just speaking your mind to these kind of people. Be like, hey, you know what? Like, you know, when I'm busy, I always try to hang out with you and make plans with you. And when you're busy, like, you don't want to hang out. But when you're not busy, you know, you don't make any effort to reciprocate just how much time that I love hanging out with you and give to you. But there needs to be an understanding as well that people do need space. So I feel like this is saying that it is time for you to hold space for yourself, and you should always hold space for yourself first and foremost before giving that space to anyone else. When you feel well rested and you feel like it's time, then there's nothing wrong with going back out there and hanging out with friends, or, you know, family, or whatever the case is, significant other. 3 of Potions excuse me, and death with the Emperor, the Hanged Man in reverse. I wasn't going to pull so many cards, but let's see. The Three of Potions is about celebration, but it could also symbolize distraction. So what I'm seeing here is the Death card in the center. Over here we have these three characters here. You know, one comes out of a hat, comes out of the next hat, comes out of the next hat. I kind of feel like this card is kind of cautioning you to be more observant. Who are the people that, after hanging out or something, let's say both of you are walking your separate ways, saying bye, you know, it was fun, thank you. And let's say you turn around and this person, all of a sudden, there's another person that comes out on top of their head, and another person that comes out on top of that person's head. It's like, who are they? Are they the same kind of person with you as they are with other people? And if they're not, what is the purpose of them, you know, wearing these masks? Are they wearing the mask towards you? I feel like this is kind of cautioning that there are people in your surroundings who may be not exactly who they say they are, and that's not like to scare you or anything. What am I trying to say? We all have aspects of us that are brought out with certain types of people, right? There's certain friends who we are more likely to be like hyper with, maybe. Certain friends who we may be more calm with, maybe, you know? There's certain friends who we'll have certain conversations with more likely than our parents, for example. So what this is telling me is that there's a need to end relationships with people who do not respect your time, your effort, your energy. I just thought of something. It's like, here's Mr. Claus, and here's Mrs. Claus. Now, the Mrs. Claus in this deck is not the Empress. But what I'm seeing here is this dynamic, like, let's say you and your partner both work and they still expect you to cook and clean, or they still expect you to be doing more than what they do, and they're just sitting on their ass like a couch potato or something. This may not be relevant, this may be a side note, but why doesn't this energy, why doesn't he help her bake? If he's free and he doesn't, and he has the time, they could use that time to bond. It's not to say, of course, Mrs. Claus, I'm sure she loves to bake on her own, and she's kind and she's loving, and she might even tell him, no, don't worry about it. But does he ever go out of his way to be like, hey, you know what? Even though you say don't worry about it, I want to. I want to learn how you make it. I want to see how you make it. I want to be there while you're making it. And I want to be a part of it. Because I want to learn things that are important to you and how you do things and how you see things. And it's like this Santa Claus is looking in this direction. So it's like he notices and he knows just how much this Mrs. Claus does for him. But is he willing to get off his ass and help her? So I feel like, again, this is saying be aware of the people around you. Be aware of their energy. Are they just using you to get your money, get like a promotion, to get into your pants, to have help, or only from you and no one else? There's a need to evaluate relationships and situations in your life, and there's a need to dead it. If there are people in your energy who do not reciprocate and who do not respect you, it's not to say that they're bad people. Everyone has shit going on. So it's not to say, maybe they literally are just a seriously busy person, and that's understandable. That happens. But what this is saying is to look beneath the surface and to follow your intuition. Now, there is a difference between our mind, our perception, and our intuition. And so this is saying to trust your intuition. Not your perception just because you think someone might be a certain way. But saying to follow your intuition and to look at the signs, to be aware of the signs. How is this person? Who are they really? And are they like this with you? Are they like that? Are they the same with you, with other people? Are they trying to get something out of you? And I feel like there's also a warning not to get caught up in your head. And maybe that's what this is here. Like a warning not to get caught up in your head. It's like perhaps spirit might, perhaps you may be led to certain situations or certain thoughts that make you think like, oh wow, like, was this person ever really truly there for me? And it may be a very troubling time. It may be very difficult for you, but there's a need to understand that it's okay. Like, it's not okay for people to treat you like shit, but it's okay for you to walk away from people who treat you like shit. And you should not feel guilty. You should communicate while you can. When you're with friends with someone, you should communicate with them. Like, hey, you know what? I kind of feel like, I would love to see more effort from your side for us to hang out. You say you have 3 days off in a row, and you say that you have nothing to do those 3 days, obviously, except like little things here and there, or projects that you want to do. Understandable. But like, we can't hang out for a little bit. I want to see you. I want to talk to you. I want to make sure everything's okay. Or maybe I could help you with a project, or we could do a project together. It's like you're so willing to go out of your way, even on a busy day, to meet up with people sometimes. But when you want to hang out last minute or something, and you ask people, and no one's capable, no one's able, no one wants to. Or maybe they do, but they can't. And of course that's understandable, so I'm not talking about that kind of situation. It's like you need to give to yourself now. And there's a need to end spending so much time and energy on people who are just going to sit on their ass and expect you to do everything for them just because that's what they're used to. Okay. So let's see, I don't have that much time today. I apologize, you guys, but I hope that this reading will help you. Oh. Let's see. Is there another one? Yes, there is. I'm curious what that card is. I'm curious what these are. Prosperity lies ahead. The end of a tough cycle approaches, and bring love into this situation. So know that even if there's people that you have to release from your life, release them, so to speak, in some certain way, bring love into the situation is calling you to that even if you have to let go of someone or something, to do it with love and not out of spite or anger or fear. To do it out of love and with kindness and compassion. Know that prosperity lies ahead. I feel like this is saying that relationships, friendships, perhaps a career, whatever the case is along the way. But you have to make space for it. You cannot receive the blessings that are trying to come into your life while you're so caught up in the bullshit that's trying to end in your life. And that is very prevalent here. It's the same concept, out with the old and with the new. Let's say your closet is bursting at the brim with clothes that more than half of them you never even fucking wear. And you want new clothes, where are you gonna put them? In order to reduce the anxiety, in order to reduce the clutter in your mind and physical energy, physical space, there's a need to declutter relationships, people, places, things. In order for the new blessings, the beautiful blessings that are trying to come into your life to come in for you. There's beautiful things trying to come into your life, but while you're giving all of your time and attention to people who don't even really deserve it, you're not going to be able to give your time and attention to new people, new relationships, a new job, or whatever that Spirit's trying to give to you. Sometimes people think, man, like I pray and I pray and I pray, and like God never answers my prayers, or whoever it is that you pray to. God, Goddess, whoever. They never answer my prayers. It's like they hear you. I'm sure that they do answer it. You just don't pay attention. You just don't realize it. Or they're bringing the blessings to you, and because you're so sidetracked and so distracted with other shit that's not even helping you in your life, things that may literally be holding you back from what Spirit is trying to help you level up. And you're going to have to let go of people, places, and things for that to happen. But I feel like there's this resistance to do so. Out of fear of what people may think, out of fear that this person may be angry with you because you decide to stop being their close friend, because you decide that the relationship that you guys have is not reciprocal and is not going to help you elevate into the next phase of your life. Spirit's trying to bring beautiful things to you, but you need to create space for it, or else you will miss it. You will miss the bus, you will miss the train, you will miss whatever it is. It's like, let's say you hope and you pray for something and you hail a taxi cab, and let's say you hailing the taxi is like you praying and stuff. And so Spirit comes with the taxi. But like, let's say you see another taxi and it looks shinier, or you see someone just comes up to you and starts talking to you with the taxi pulled up, it's up to you to get in. Just because you call the cab doesn't mean that they're gonna wait for your ass for an hour. I looked up, I saw 2444. 4 is a number of stability. There's a need to focus on your foundation. know that whatever has been tough in your life right now, know that that is ending. Because Spirit is trying to bring blessings into your life. But again, there's a need to get out of this energy where you feel caught up because you care so much about these people, because you care so much about leaving people, places, and things that no longer resonate with you anymore. It's time to bear your horns and charge forward. It's time to cleanse the energy that is around you. Underneath the deck, we have commitment. So there could be something that you need to find balance of. And again, what I think this is referring to as well is like sharing your time and energy with people who also share their time and energy with you. If you have you ever hung out with someone and you feel like you're the one talking and you're the one doing everything and you're the one really hanging out? It's kind of like you're hanging out with a wall. Those people, they probably don't really want to be there. They're not reciprocating. They're not showing their commitment. They're just in your space, in your zone of awareness. There's a need to find balance, and there's a need to share your time and your energy with people who are committed to you just as you're committed and loyal to them. Let them show their loyalty too. Do they ever ask to hang out? Do they ever ask like to see you? Do they ever ask how you're doing? But you always do, right? And there's an imbalance here. And when that happens, when you overgive, or when you're the only one really trying in a relationship or a friendship or whatever the case is, people take advantage of that. And this is saying to be aware, because Spirit hates to see when people take advantage of you. But Spirit also hates to see that you don't realize that Spirit wants you to know, I feel like, that you're not alone, that things are gonna be okay. And just because you may be struggling now to find people who resonate with you, or to find places where you feel safe and you feel like you can really just truly be who you are, this to me is saying like Spirit is trying to let you know, I'm trying to give you this. I'm trying to bring this to you. And it's right there, but you have to acknowledge it. You called the cab over. It's time for you to get in the cab. Either this person can get in the cab with you, you could share a cab, or you can get in the cab and leave without them if they're too distracting. If they're keeping you from going somewhere that you need to be there by a specific time, let's say. Hey, I'm sorry. You know what? I have to go. Whatever the case is, whatever it is that you need to do, I feel like Spirit is saying, you've hailed the cab. The cab is coming. Are you ready for it? Are you gonna keep talking to these people who are distracting you from even realizing that, oh, perhaps you missed a cab already? Look at all those taxis that pass by. And while you're still talking to this person that Spirit's trying to bring something to you, you are being distracted by people who use your energy. And Spirit's trying to give you warning signs and tell you like, hey, you know, maybe this person, they just have to kind of be on their own and deal with certain things and clear that up, because they're using you. Now only take this message if it resonates and don't force it to fit. Like if you're listening to this and the majority of this reading isn't resonating, then the majority of it is not meant for you. However, I do believe that every reading, if you feel called to a reading, if you click on the reading, I do believe that there is some kind of message there for you. So perhaps you've already gone through this. Perhaps you took that cab. And perhaps it is just time for you to continue to release what is no longer resonating with you. And you're really struggling with this, I feel. With the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Let's keep going. Let's see what else comes out. I will only pick 2 more and then I'll have to call it for today. Sorry this reading so it's gonna be way shorter than my usual ones. Perhaps. Okay, 3 cards came out. Underneath is financial health. So if you're thinking about what you should be focusing your time and energy on, I feel like it is on your stability and on your foundation. So worry more about finances than getting into a relationship right now or trying to meet new people. I feel like when your finances are more, when you're stronger, more independently, financially, it's going to bring you a lot of peace. It's going to help you out a lot. And you're not going to have to rely on anyone. But it's also saying be consciously aware that people don't use that as an excuse to get close to you. Or that they only come to you when they need money or something. So be aware of that. Grieving. Again, I did mention that I feel like you're struggling to kind of like release these old situations, these people, these places, these things in your life and your energy right now. You're grieving over it because it's not easy to let go of people that we care so much about or that we've known for so long. But the truth of the matter is that sometimes people stay in these situations that they are consciously or subconsciously, they're comfortable. When you want to grow and expand and transform, you have to release what is not willing to transform with you. And again, that doesn't mean that you have to stop being friends and not talk to someone ever again. It just means that you know what you're manifesting in your life and you're only trying to have in your life what you need and what you desire and what brings you peace and what is committed to you and loyal to you just as much as you are to it or them or whatever it is. You are the magician. You are the manifester. What is it that you're manifesting? If you're so worried and fearful, I saw 3323. There's a lot of 3s, and earlier I was going to mention about 3. I feel like 3 is a significant number to you. Perhaps you see 333, or perhaps you see 33. Maybe your life path number 33. Manifestation is definitely saying be very aware of your energy, especially at this time where this beautiful blessing is trying to come in, because you can miss the bus. If your energy isn't right, you can literally miss the bus for this new blessing, this new beginning. That doesn't mean that nothing will ever come to you again. It just means that you're gonna have to wait longer. And that don't be angry at spirit for that. I feel like it's trying to tell you to release. Oh, let me see. Although you are the manifester of your own life, and although you are co-creating and you are manifesting your life, there's also a need to understand that things take time. There's also a need for peace in patience. Peace in waiting for the right time, the right moment, the right people. Spirit, I feel like, wants you to know that you are close. You're really, really close to your manifestation. But don't give up now, and don't revert to a negative energy, and don't allow people with a negative energy to be using you or taking your time and energy away. Because if they're just distracting you from what it is that you need to be focusing on, you're not going to realize the manifestations right in front of you, even if it hits you across the face. Because you're going to be so busy grieving. There's a need to grieve. The grieving process is important. Because when we grieve, we're healing, we're releasing. Healing and releasing from whatever does not resonate with you anymore is necessary in order for you to create space for your manifestation. I feel like that's what Spirit's saying. It's time for you to not push away your emotions about grieving towards a certain person, place, or thing, or a combination of all of that. Spirit's saying it's time to heal from it, because we're trying to bring something beautiful in your life, and if you're not healed and you're not ready for it, if you have not transformed, then you might miss your opportunity. And then you're going to have to wait for us to bring you another opportunity. But know that Spirit works when at the time that Spirit finds is right. That it has nothing to do with when we want something. Just because we want something tomorrow doesn't mean we're going to get it tomorrow. If we get it at all, maybe it'll take a week, a month, a couple months, a year. It will come, but if you don't heal and you don't move away from what no longer resonates with you, if you don't create space for it, you're not going to have space for it when it's ready to come into fruition. When you're ready to open that door, you're not going to have space to open it. All right, so I'll leave the reading here. Thank you all so very much for being here and for joining me today. I hope that this message resonated. I hope it brought you peace, clarity. I hope that it helped. Thank you all so very much for being here. I love you guys. I really, truly, deeply appreciate each and every single one of you. I would love to know if this message has resonated to any degree. Please feel free to let me know if you need anything. Thank you all so very much. I love you guys. Take care. Be safe. Be nice to yourself and other people. And just know that the blessings that are coming into your life are well worth it. And you're not going to, I don't feel like you're going to regret getting rid of or, releasing old energy. Because the blessings that are trying to come into your life are going to be more than you have right now, so to speak. Beautiful people, places, things are trying to come into your life, and it's up to you to be in the right energy to receive that. So thank you all very much. I love you guys. Take care. Bye.